Hello, everyone. It's Major, the creator of Neon, and I am back. And I'm super excited to have this conversation with R&B's rising star, Marzz.
Hey, yo.
Take me back. Take me back. Paint a picture for us. When did you fall in love with music and performing?
Man, I fell in love with music, I guess since I was born, really. Like growing up around the house, all I listened to is they played music all the time, like gospel music mostly. You know what I'm saying? Listening to the Clark sisters and just seeing them and their life story on BET, L&M. You know what I'm saying? Being brought up in the church, really, in the choir, is what made me fall in love with music and just really wanting to perform in front of people, being in front of the choir at a young age. You know, I was in front of a small crowd, but it was just one of those things where I just loved being able to put a smile on people's face and just seeing them like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like just that feeling. So, yeah.
Well, I know you mentioned the Clark sisters as one of your musical influences, but what other artists inspired you?
Yeah. Other artists, I'm definitely say my girl Lauryn Hill. Like that woman got some pipes on her. Like my mom used to always play Sister Act. Like I used to play that movie constantly over and over and over just because I was just so mesmerized by her voice. Like little Lauren, she's a little girl and she's just that little and she got a big voice. So her, I'm gonna say she's definitely a huge influence. Erykah Badu, she's like her swag just like really caught my attention. Like she always came out with exotic, you know how Nicki Minaj, she be coming out at the red carpet with her exotic looks. Erykah Badu was like the R&B artist to do that. So just being able to be like, she didn't care what you thought, who you was, she was gonna come out and do what she came to do. You feel me? So that's some of my influences for sure.
Nice. So like, did you always know that you wanted to be a musician, or like, where did this like spark, when did it knock on your brain to be like, okay, I want to do this professionally?
Really ain't gonna lie. Like I wanted to be a neurologist surgeon. Like I wanted to like work on people's brain and stuff. Like I'm so into like how the human body works, how our nervous system is and stuff. Like I'm a nerd for real. Like at heart, I'm really about my books and stuff. But I was at school and so my friend Ty, she heard me singing in the bathroom and I was like, oh my God, like that's embarrassing. I was inside of the locker room changing and stuff. And she was like, it was you singing? And I was like, no, that ain't me. What you talking about? She was like, and then after that, she had brought me on and she was like, everybody listen to Ree sing. And then after that, it was kind of like going around the school, oh, you the girl that can sing, da da da. And then this one time we had a pep rally and the teacher was like, who wants to sing the pep rally? And everybody was like, Ree. Everybody was like, no, do not do that to me. And just every time a pep rally came, it was everybody knew, oh, who's singing the national anthem? Ree. So that kind of just sparked and was like, that was the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like it was crazy. Like I was like, okay, I really should take this singing stuff serious. So many people support me and they just going crazy. I'm like, I didn't even know I can hit these notes and y'all going crazy. Like what? It was crazy, man.
I'm so happy to hear that you had that experience of an immense amount of support. So speaking of support, like who discovered you?
What? Who discovered me? I'm gonna say Timbaland, like the icon Timbaland, you know what I'm saying? Like having a co-sign by him was a freaking dream. Like that whole situation, he had DM'd me on Instagram and he was like, yo, I seen your pen game strong. And I'm like, how the heck does this man even know me? And it's like, he had seen me off of a freestyle that I had posted. I used to do these little, these 30-second freestyles. I didn't really know how Instagram worked. And I posted them. He seen it and he reached out and was like, we got to work, your pen game strong. And my first instinct was to go into investigation mode. I was like, hold on, this ain't really Timbaland. Hold on, let me go see. He got a blue check and stuff, but that don't mean nothing. People can go.
Right.
And he was like, let's fly you out to Miami. And literally like 3 days after, he flew me out and we got in the studio and we was just cooking up. Like he was like, anything I was vibing to, he was vibing to. He was like literally a big brother. Anything that he sat there and was like, yo, you mess with this beat? And I was like, yeah, I mess with this beat. Like, duh, it's you. Like, then he was like, go spit something. And I was like, go spit something. I don't even know how to rap. But he was like, he heard me mumbling and he was playing the beat. He was like, you know how to rap? I was like, no, not for real, for real. And he told me go in the booth, and I came out, and that was it. I was like, oh my God. And the song I'm referring to is Cleopatra. When I rapped on that, he's the one that advised me, to go rap on it because I was scared, but he was like, nah, go for it. And I came out, and that's what it came out with. So I was like, all right, bet.
Shout out to Timbaland. Shout out to
For
Timbaland.
real. Big shout out to him. For real.
So you're signed to RCA, a legendary label. I mean, like heavy hitters, like music hitters, like her, Alicia Keys, Jasmine Sullivan. I mean, the list goes on. What was that process like for you to get signed?
I ain't gonna lie, it was definitely super surreal. Like, all I knew for real, being able to hear that I'm about to be signed by RCA, they took me inside the room and was listening to my music, and I ain't gonna lie, like I'm super quiet. So I was just like, I'm praying that, they mess with me and they like my music, but it was really just a surreal moment. I never knew that what a record label was or any of that until, it was brought to my attention that, this is one of the biggest labels. And it was just, I don't know, like I still have no words. Like it doesn't even seem real to me, but I'm so grateful to be right here in this moment and living my dream for real, for like, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's still like processing to me.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I'm sure. Now I want to go backwards a little bit because I know you mentioned earlier in our conversation that you were raised in the church, and quite often queer Black folk in the church tend to, more often than not have negative experiences, if you will. So what was your experience like? Because I know you mentioned that you had so much support, but how was that being queer and being raised in the church?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, like the church was definitely one of the places where I didn't want to be at, to be honest. Like it was one of those where it's like, it was such a toxic place for me where, I went to school to really express myself. At church, it was one of those things where it was more so my family. My family is a family oriented church, but it's one side of my aunt's family and my personal family. So just being in that environment, it was too much. He said, she said stuff. But aside from my actual intermediate family, I guess, they were super supportive. They was like, they're going to love me regardless. Who are they to judge? God is the only one to judge. But I really just stayed away from that type of thing. Once I finally actually discovered, like, this is who I am, loving myself, learning who I am. But as in growing up in the church, it was just one of those things where I just stayed to myself. I didn't really know how to express my feelings. Like I carry around these notebooks with me all the time where I would write, if I was angry, I would write in my red notebook. If I was upset, I'd write in my yellow notebook. If I was like anxious, I'd write in my purple notebook. And I was never really a verbal person. I'd be like, hey, like, why don't you read my notebook real quick so I can like tell you what I'm saying? But other than that, it was like, I'd rather just keep my feelings and stuff to myself because, they didn't really care for real. So it's just kind of hard, kind of balancing that. But I kind of grew into loving myself and finding my people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious though, how did you come up with the idea of like the different color schemes for the notebooks? Like, how did that come about?
And I don't even know, honestly. Like, I remember I was like, I want to say I was in elementary, 5th grade. Like, a lot of bad stuff was going on in my life as far as with my mom and my dad. They was going through divorce and stuff. And I always used to think that it was my fault that they would get into a divorce until my therapist was like, why don't you start writing down your feelings and stuff? And it was kind of like, I already did that, but it wasn't as in, really not caring what I was saying because I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm talking to myself. So I feel like that's where that kind of navigated. And I took that and ran with it. I was like, every time I wrote in my notebook, I just felt so much better. Like it was just my, my scapegoat. That's what I keep close to me. It was just one of those things where I knew nobody could read it. It was super private, and I could just go back from where I am now and then read where I was and be like, look at the growth, you know what I'm saying? And just understand that I was young and, it was a lot of things that I wasn't actually really able to do, but I was able to go pick up a pen and the paper and go write on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where I went with that. And I just took it and ran with it. For real.
That's amazing, 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 amazing.
Thank
Well,
you.
I want to tell you, congratulations on an amazing performance at the Soul Train Music Awards. It was so crazy because My back was actually to the TV because I was doing something in the kitchen. And
Mhm.
then first of all, I heard the intro of, of saying like, oh, you're a proud
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus representative. And I was like, okay, yeah, okay, cool. And then I heard your voice and I was like, who is this?
Hey, hey, that's love.
So, how do you feel? How do you
Yeah.
feel now that people have seen you on such a really a global platform? Like, how do you feel? Because I know you went viral as well.
Oh,
Like, how do you feel about all of this recognition and people paying attention to your talent? How does that make you feel?
Um, it really just makes me feel super like grateful, honestly. Like I know I say that a lot, but it's actually like really humbling. Like to honestly be able to be given a platform in spite of what's going on in today's world outside of the music industry. I'm so happy that I was able to have the opportunity to represent. Also, just me personally, like that was something that I was so scared to do because it's Soul Train. Like Whitney Houston did one of her biggest and best shows at the Apollo, like performing in a legendary building. It was just super like crazy. Like I was like, I'm more grateful to be here because this is such a place of grace. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those moments where I knew maybe I could be able to, do it again, but I'm here now. And I just wanted to make a statement to let it known that you can do whatever you put your mind to, you know what I'm saying? And no matter who you are, what you are becoming, or what you stand for, nothing is impossible. You know what I'm saying? And I'm super grateful for that. So I just take this and I'm like, I'm grateful to be able to have done that. It was super dope.
Amazing. I mean, it was just such an
Yes.
incredible performance, honestly. Like, I just enjoyed it so much. But why was it important for you to be introduced as a queer person and a queer individual? Why was that so important to you?
I feel like it was definitely important for me because I was never able to proudly say that I'm a part of the LGBT community. It wasn't something it was something that I was ashamed of at first because, dealing with the church and the church people was something where, being in also a black family, you know what I'm saying? And being raised up in the church, it was so much toxic stuff where I feel like I had to hide myself. And I was like, I think that that would be pretty damn dope to, be proud in who I am. And it was just a proud moment to know that it's I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to be afraid no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm super, super, I don't even know, like ecstatic to even have that in my intro because it just means a lot to me. Like my love has no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't matter. Who are anybody to judge? Who am I to judge? And just being, you know, I'm super proud of, like, that's all I can say is I'm super proud to be a part of the LGBT community and have a voice for us. Like that means a lot to me.
I thank you. I thank you.
Yeah,
I thank you. I thank you so much for doing what you
yeah,
do. What can we expect
yeah.
musically in the future?
I'm a, yeah. I gotta it up real quick. I got another project that I'm gonna be working on. Love Letterz EP is going crazy. Like everybody bumping it and DMing me. Like the messages, I be trying to get back to everybody on Instagram, but it'd be so many people. But it's like I do read my messages and I try to reply back to everybody and comment back to everybody because I really do appreciate those messages. That's like motivation and inspiration to me. No matter if you just say, one little thing, you'd be like there was this one lady yesterday. She was like, I had helped her out of depression and stuff. Like, what? Like, I have no words other than like, keep being strong. Like, you can do this and you are loved. You know what I'm saying? And I just really feel so good about being a role model or being somebody to look up to and knowing that you don't have to be afraid. Like I feel like everybody that doesn't really understand us being a part of the LGBT, it's like super scary situation to be in, you know what I'm saying? And to not feel afraid and have people that genuinely love me for me and my music, that means so much to me. Like that keeps me going every single day because it's like, you know, one little person just has to care. And I'm like, I'm doing it for you, girl. Like I'm doing it for you. You feel me? Like it just means a lot to me. I appreciate them daily for sure.
you know, you're doing the things, baby. You're doing all of these amazing things. How do you center yourself? What does wellness look like for you?
Yeah. Actually, I really just, I take the time out of my day to make sure my mental is right. You know what I'm saying? Like going out for a hike, going out for a ride, writing in my notebooks, really isolating myself. I've always been the type to like, I'm an introvert, extrovert. Like I don't mind being around a whole bunch of people, but I do like my space to where it's like I just need a moment to recollect and just make sure I get myself together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm super big on energy. So I feel like if my energy ain't right, I don't want to be inside of an environment or a room and, spread that negative energy or whatever I'm feeling. So I really just take the time to make sure my mental and my energy is right, just reflecting, detoxing on some things personally, fighting my own demons.
All
For real.
right, all right. And are you working on new music, a new project that we could be on the lookout for?
2022, I'm really actually looking forward to, doing some more live performances and just being in front of, my supporters, my babies. Like, I really just can't wait to like actually be in full concert, you know what I'm saying? And just, I don't even know, like, I don't like calling it concert because it's just, a moment for me. Like, I really, my first couple of shows, I don't want no phones in there. I just want it to be us, be real intimate and just connect with each other. Like it's just that's always been something that I've always wanted to do. Is just connect with my audience, you know what I'm saying, and just really lend them my heart, while I'm saying like, here, this for you. You feel me? And I can't wait to have and share that special moment with them for real.
All
It's gonna be
right.
crazy.
All right. Well, Marzz, thank you so, so much. I have no doubt in my mind that you are going to be everywhere and be such an
Hey,
influence,
oh,
especially in the R&B realm. Thank you. Everyone, please stay tuned for all of Neon's content and all of GLAAD's content. Thank you, Marzz, one more time. And I hope to talk to you soon.
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.